Welcome back, YouTubers. This is a review of Robot Damashii, or Robot Spirits, number 237, Zaku 2FZ. Now, this one is, again, from Gundam 0080. This one is from the little mini-series and is the mobile suit of the actual main character of the Zeon side of the story, Burning. Now, as you can see, this one has some battle damage parts and does not come with the standard Zaku weapons. This is because that during this period in the One-Year War storyline, the Zeon had decided to adopt the United Maintenance Plan in order to make their mobile suits easier to repair as well as to update ones that were falling into obsolescence. Now, you might think, why not just build more? They're in space. They have limited resources. Though they do have production facilities to churn out whole new mobile suits, they can't afford to waste mobile suits. And they've already built tons and tons of Zakus. This is why even during the end of the war, in both the anime and in many of the games, you'll still see Zakus being fielded. Not because they want to, but because they have to. They don't have much else to field other than the mobile suits they've already manufactured because they don't have enough time, energy, or money to build more. Now, once again, this comes with a fairly impressive number of parts and a fairly big schematic here. But let's get down to what's inside this thing. Now, as I mentioned, this is an upgraded model from the standard. So, aside from the standard heat hawk that all Zakus pretty much are equipped with, you've also got an upgraded weapon, a machine gun. It's also got what I think is supposed to be a grenade launcher on the front. I'm not absolutely sure, but I'm fairly sure this bit at the front is a grenade as it pops off. So I'm fairly sure that's what it is. It's also got a clip that pops loose. Pretty cool there. I always like it when they've got removable clips on these things, because it's something you see in some of the later Gundam series that they have to swap out the clip. The thing isn't just powered by a single battery pack, which is something nice I like in these series. The fact that instead of using an internal power source, the gun has its own battery pack, which makes sense. You can pick up a fallen comrade's weapon and use that. Now, this one is a great deal bulkier than the other one. Pardon me for just a moment, I just dropped one of the hands. Sorry, Kamen Rider toy. Where did that thing go? Anyway, but this one is a fair bit bulkier than, say, the regular Zaku, which you can see right here. It's a good deal thicker and more heavily built. And that actually makes sense. During this period was when the Federation was putting out their own mobile suits, and the Zeon suits didn't have the superiority they previously had over Federation weapons. Their guns weren't going to just bounce off them multiple times before they took any real damage. Which was what happened. The Zeon armor, though not great, would repel most of the Federation fire before they took real damage. And as such, they could just wade through soaking up damage. With the beam guns that the GEMs and other mobile suits like the Gundam used, they were going to take a lot more damage quickly. So some extra armor plating was probably called for. Also, the additional thruster nozzles on the shoulders and in the chest, I really like that, as you can see here and here. That's a good addition because when you're talking about fighting in space, you have to remember you don't have anything to push against. You need thrusters to help you maneuver. So the addition of additional little thrusters on the body, I think that's a really good addition. But let's talk accessories and parts these things come with. First, of course, there's these grenades that are on the side here. I'm fairly sure these pop, yep, pop right out. So it's got removable grenades here on the side. There's a little handle that extends out of them in the show. There's one inside the pack here. Let me just pop it out. See if I can give you guys a better look at it. As you can see, it's just a little stick, so it'll fit in the hand, and you can throw it. So that's a nice little extra. That's one thing that I miss sometimes in things, is small accessories like that. Though do be careful, that's the kind of thing that gets lost fairly easily. Let's see what else we got in here. Now, we've got some nozzles here, pink ones. Not absolutely sure what these belong to. Give me a moment. Oh, I see. This is a reference to the final fight. This is the door of the cockpit. This is basically, you get a beam saber through the chest. This hooks onto a beam saber, and this piece here comes out the back here through this little circular point here on the back. So yeah, you pop that out, you can stick this on, and you've got a beam saber going right through its cockpit section. That's a really good effect part, especially for something like this, though unfortunately it can't be used on any of the other mobile suits. Unlike things like the machine gun fire from one of the other sets, that you can use with this machine gun. They've got the same barrel width, so you'll be able to plug those in. Next, we've got one of my favorite things that they include with these anime-style ones, thrusters. Especially this one, because it's got 3 thrust nozzles on the back. That's pretty cool. And that's also really useful, especially if you're doing like a diorama like I like to do with my stuff. So that'll give you a lot of extra display features, but here's the thing that I think this is going to make this particular mobile suit the one that most people are going to want to buy, even over the standard Zaku I showed you alongside this one earlier. And that is the head of the mobile suit. One problem with the head parts, though, these little antennae for it do fall out rather easily, so you will want to be very, very careful with those. But yeah, it's these head parts. Now, it's got one mono eye going to one side, this one has it going to the other, but all of them can be removed and put in like this. Same on the main unit, as you can see. Pretty cool. But note that the head design is slightly different for this one. Not massively, but the tubes are a little different, and so's the front piece, I think. This one has a circular one. This one has a square one. So there's a slight difference with it. Let me oh, you a bit closer. That wasn't in shot. Yeah. So the nozzle on the front of this is a little different from each one, if you can see. Hold on. So yeah, the headpiece is interchangeable, and the nice thing is this makes this one look almost like a Jeridoga from Char's Counterattack, which is really nice, because as I said, that adds a lot of play value to these kinds of things. Plus, that means you've essentially got 3 different Zaku heads, meaning you can have 3 different Zakus out of one kit. So this one's going to be a lot more useful to most people than the standard Zaku is, because you can change what its basic appearance looks like. While you can do that with the other one, it's basically just adding the head fin. This one changes the whole headpiece out for another one. Although it is the same, you can modify the parts by taking off the grenades or switching in weapons. That gives you a whole lot of other options. Though I would say these 2 Zakus, the anime ones, are the better 2 to get if you are collecting these or want more than just one. Personally, I would just go with a model kit for more customizing and options, but if you're going to get more of them, these 2 are definitely the ones. Now, like I said, it comes with 2 heat hawks, an energized and non-energized blade. Though, as you can see here, the blade is basically an extension on the other one. It looks like it's supposed to have popped out and ignited and heated up. Plus, it's got the extendo staff part, which is a nice addition. And, of course, it has a ton of hands. And the bar to put them all on. But it also has a battle damaged arm. So you can basically pop out the arm here and stick this one on. So you've got now a battle damaged Zaku with only one arm. Like I said, that's another really good plus for this kit. I'm not sure if you could do that with these ones. Their arms are on a lot more securely, so I don't want to risk doing anything that might damage it. I know this one's supposed to pop off, so it's not an issue, but those ones, not too sure. That's something you might want to risk if you want to give it a try. Me, I don't want to risk stripping the peg out. All in all, this Zaku's a definite plus, and definitely an addition to any collector's set. To be honest, this particular Mobile Suit series was one I saw, and I had heard about it, but when I actually saw it, I was very surprised, 1, that it was so short, but 2, that it really displayed the horrors of the war on the civilians and the people around them. The kid, and these are some big spoilers, he's emotionally devastated because he becomes friends with Burning and gets to know the other people in his team, though they all get killed off after they attempt to destroy the Alex Gundam. But Burning and him become very close, and the tragedy of the story is that Burning attempts to destroy the Gundam with his salvage Zaku from the first time he had snuck in, and also with these trucks of equipment, including some grenades and a heat hawk that had been left behind by Misha, their weapons tech, who had made the assault with their one mobile suit and gotten killed due to the Alex's Gatling guns. And the mech's own very light armor, since it was designed more for speed than for durability. And also that they had assembled the thing on site from container modules they had brought over. Unfortunately, when he had gone to take it out to prevent a nuclear attack on the side they were at, even though it was neutral territory, it had not signed the treaty that prevented nuclear weapons from being used. As such, it was a loophole. Fortunately, a Federation ship found and caught the nukes that were going to be used, but they didn't know that until it was too late. Burning already sortied in his Zaku and managed to destroy, or more precisely, cripple the Alex. Although he destroyed one of the Gatling guns and did severe damage, cutting off the head and damaging the backpack section, he did not totally destroy the mobile suit. But during the fight, he lost his life, and the pilot was severely injured, so she was sent off, I think, back to the Federation to recover, or she was sent to be redeployed later after a quick hospital stay, as she had her arm in a sling. But the tragedy is the kid, Al, lost not only Burning, but her, and he didn't even know she was the pilot of the mobile suit until probably the end. In fact, I'm not even sure he ever realized she was the pilot, seeing as how he had no way to know that. And the tragedy is also that she and Burning had met each other socially and actually started to like each other. So, yeah, pretty tragic story. And in this story, there's no real winner. Everybody basically loses. The insane commander who attempts to order the nuclear attack, he's probably caught along with his ship full of nukes aimed at this place. Burning dies doing this. The pilot of the Alex, whose name is Chris, is severely injured, not mortally or, I think, debilitatingly, but she is injured. Plus, she had liked Burning and now has no idea what happened to him. Ironically, in a lot of these super robot war games where it is possible to play elements of that, they survive and actually become somewhat of a couple. In fact, Burning is frequently referred to as a Zaku fanboy, as his piloting skills are not great in anything but a Zaku. Take with that as you will. But either way, this was a really interesting suit, and I think this is a definite plus for anyone who collects the Gundam series, because this is a really good upgrade for the Zaku, as it contains additional weapons, and it also has the extra thrusters. One thing I should note is the feet thrusters on this one are going to make it pretty much impossible for you to use these pods on it that are on the regular Zaku. But like with most with most Robot Damashii figures, you can use the weapons interchangeably pretty much, so you can probably use some of the standard Zaku weapons if you want to give it a regular machine gun or bazooka. At any rate, please ring the bell below to keep track of all my other videos, and check out my playlists of all my other toy reviews and other stuff. And like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Ciao!